talk about a lot of books, and I talk about them because sometimes I really enjoy them. Other times they weren't that great, but I know that my perspective is my own, right? And that y'all might still find the joy in things that I didn't necessarily understand or completely enjoy. But there are some books that y'all could have been louder about. Y'all could have been louder about them, because y'all be on here yelling about all of these other books, and I be letting y'all have y'all little moment. But how come for why y'all don't be yelling about these? That's all right. I'm going to get you together. It's all right. I'm going to get you together. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Shelby in the Book Club. I am Shelby Monet, and in today's video, we're going to talk about books that I feel like deserve more love. Why are y'all not giving these books the love that they deserve? It could be for a lot of reasons, right? I think sometimes we pick books not based on their synopsis, but based on the emotion that they garner in others. And when we read them, then we're a little disappointed because they don't meet up to the expectations that we set for them. I think sometimes we don't understand books, right? Like, they are so multifaceted, and there are so many different ways, right, that we could be intaking the content, and sometimes it just misses the mark, right? Sometimes we're not in the right mental space to read certain things, so that affects the way that we talk about it or the experience that we have. So I totally understand, but these are just some books that, like, if y'all don't get it together this year, I don't know what we gonna do. Okay, so if you like to hear it go before we get started, always remember all books mentioned will be linked down below in the underneath bar. It's called the underneath bar because it is underneath the video. You're getting it, friend. Make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it for real this time. These are in no particular order, okay? And some of them, one of them in particular, I have like controversial things to say, and I just need you to be prepared, okay? Like, I just need you to go with it and to hear me, okay? All right. First up, The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Y'all didn't talk about this book enough. I think a lot of people, when this first came out, bought this book just because it was Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's his first fiction. It's historical fiction with magical realism. And then y'all read it, and y'all were reading it at a surface level, I think. Y'all were just seeing Hiram as this slave that had powers, right? And if we're going with that level of reading of this book, it's kind of boring. I'm not gonna hold you. It's kind of boring. But this is a book that you need to read deeply, because when we really sit back and think about what Hiram's power actually means and what he has to learn about himself and the things around him, it makes this book really good. This is another book that, if you don't like reading because of what people can do with words, then I can see why you don't like it, because this is a dense book. It's dense. The writing is like, there is skill here, okay? Like, there is skill. And there's all of this like social commentary wrapped up in a certain way that, like, I kind of see the vision for why y'all didn't hype this up more. But I need y'all to get it together. I need y'all to read it again. And I need y'all to read it again after you read the message. The journey that he takes in the message is the same journey that he's depicting Hiram going on. Y'all, this one deserved better. Okay? It deserved better. When I tell you this book's so damn good, this book is so good. This book is so damn good. And I'm pissed off at y'all because nobody told me nothing. Y'all didn't say anything about nothing. Y'all didn't say anything. Nothing. Do you hear me? Y'all didn't say a word about how good this book is. And I don't understand why. Why didn't y'all say nothing to me? This is what I think y'all think the coldest winter ever is. Go ahead. Gasp. Have your moment. I'll give you a second. This is what y'all think the coldest winter ever is. This is actually a deep dive into what Black girls, some Black girls that are raised in the hood go through, and why they have to make the decisions that they have to make, and how they view the world around them. Whereas the coldest winter ever seems like that, but does it in a way where it's actually judging Black girls and the decisions that they make, when the whole time they're trying to survive, and they have to make decisions and choices that pertain to their environment, not what you think they should do, but to their environment. This is the book. Y'all should have been screaming about this from the rooftops, and I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to put this book on my back because everybody should be reading it. The style. You want to know what else? Okay, you need to read The Coldest Winter Ever, Last Summer on State Street, and Push together. And A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown. All four of those books go together. They all go together. Because although I have a disdain, if Sister Soldier don't have no haters, I'm dead. Okay? I understand the importance of The Coldest Winter Ever. And I understand the importance of it for Black girls, right? And I totally, if I am blessed enough to be the mother of somebody, my teenage daughter will read The Coldest Winter Ever. It's a rite of passage, right? It's a rite of passage. We all read it. We all, like, it's gonna happen. But this is what y'all think that book is. This is it. From the style, from the comments that she's making, from how the writing style it grows with the main character. As she sees and experiences more things, her tone, her thought processes mature as the different things happen to her. I need y'all to I need y'all to get it together. I need y'all to get it together immediately. I need y'all to get it together differently. When he called her shorty on a day when I was so sensitive to name calling, I knew right away that she wasn't safe. Like she heard me thinking. Stasia said she a hoe. Come on. Y'all, come on. When I start to date in college, my collection of intimate pet names will run the gamut of well thought out, uplifting names like Stevie, a play on my last name, Stevens. Fifi will stick around. Baby will return. It's my go-to for some reason and works only when I'm in truly intimate relationships with a man. But something else will happen as I age. I will return to Felicia and it will feel like a prestigious name. Tonight, read it tonight, and then you get on the social medias and you holler about it. Dang it, make me sick. Why y'all? I think y'all stay away from this one because I said that I cried. I did cry. I also think y'all stay away from this one because it's like an A24 movie. I was about to say A25. I don't know. Anyway, it's like an A24 movie in literature form. It's different and it takes you on this journey that is erratic. It's chaotic. Right? But the writing style is there. But I also think that this is a deep dive into how children see trauma and how that perspective of trauma follows us throughout our life, right? Like, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in order for you to view your trauma as an adult and not as the being that experienced it. I also think that this kind of flips on its side what horror actually is, right? I think people are looking for the house to be haunted, and it is, but by what? What should we actually be afraid of? The scary part is the racism on the surface, but what's the scary part, right? And how we all could be raised by the same two parents and have absolutely different parents. Absolutely different parents. I say it all the time. The father that I know and the ones that my sisters have are two completely different men. Two completely different men. They don't know my father the way that I know my father. Just like I don't know him the way that they know him. And it's not always malicious, right? It's not because my father has gone out of his way to like be this different man, right? No, life happens, right? He grows as a person. He knows things differently, right? The happenings of his life are different. So the version that I got growing up and the versions that my sisters got are gonna be different. This expounds on that. Y'all need to be screaming about this from the rooftops, okay? Read it. Gosh darn it. My good friend, Deshaun Charles Winslow. Decent People, both of his books, In West Mills and Decent People. What are y'all waiting for? Especially for those of you that are fans of Daniel Black. If you are a fan of Daniel Black, you need to be reading Deshaun Charles Winslow. I don't understand. You immediately, okay? They're both sister books, but they can be read independently. They take place in the same town, but they're different genres. And West Mills is more of a literary fiction, whereas this one is a mystery. So the main character is in a relationship with a man who his half siblings that he doesn't have a great relationship with die, and they think that he is a suspect, and we have to kind of go through this town's drama and their strife to figure out what happened to these people and why. Chef's kiss, no notes. Chef's kiss, no notes. This was so good. And when I look at some of the other things that you guys are interested in, like other books that I see you guys reading, especially when y'all say like, oh, well, I don't want to read historical fiction because it's too heavy, and I don't want to read this, and this because it's here you go. Here you go. Here are your options, baby. Here you go. Y'all just be making shit up. Y'all be making it up as you go. Nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. I'm here to tell you that they are. This is a phenomenal collection of short stories. If you don't necessarily like collections of short stories, but you want to venture into them more, this is the book for you. This is the one. I think short stories are a way for authors to be able to play, right? I think sometimes they can all be kind of cohesive and have like a similar theme. What I like that Damilara Kuku did with this one is each story is different, but it follows this same idea of relationships in Nigeria, right? Different types of relationships, what navigating those relationships look like from all different types of perspectives and age ranges. They're funny. Some of them are a little like sad, or they make you think and they're introspective, or, you know, some of them are a social commentary, right? There's a story in here about a pastor who allegedly is cheating on his wife, and his wife is writing to their congregation and keeping up with the whole thing, or whatever the case may be, from her perspective of what her relationship is like. And once we get to like the shift, it's like, oh, that's what we're dealing with. It's very, very good. I thought I would see more people talking about this than I did. Especially because I feel like there was in the last few years, like a boom in African literature where everybody was reading African lit. And then, like, I saw no one talking about it. All of my girls that love historical fiction, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Coleman Hill tells the story of a family migrating from the South to the North, right? I think that is the dream for a lot of Black people, right? Because I think we have this misconception that the South compartmentalizes all of the bad things that have happened to us. And in some ways it does, right? But this is a realization that racism is everywhere. And we can't necessarily run from it. But this also shows how family trauma affects the different family members differently. So like I said earlier, with like the version of my father that I have isn't the same one that my sisters have. The experiences living in that house differ from sibling to sibling for a lot of different reasons. This is phenomenal. It does read a little bit like a short story because we get a different perspective every chapter, but it also feels kind of like a history book. This is a biomythography. I've shared with you guys plenty of times what a biomythography is. Phenomenal. This last one, I'm gonna keep bullying y'all about this book until y'all see a vision. I'm gonna keep bullying y'all until y'all see the vision. Because it's a phenomenal book and it deserves more than what it's being given. And I'm understanding now, listening to a lot of people talk, that the disconnect, I think, is with the expectations per the blurbs on the book and per the synopsis. The Blueprint by Rajiana Rashad. I think you guys are expecting more like The Handmaid's Tale. I think you guys are not taking heed of why this book is also compared to Kindred by Octavia Butler. This tells the story of a Black woman who lives in a world that is kind of set up like Gilead from The Handmaid's Tale, right? It's a futuristic, kind of look like 2025 in a way. She's in Texas. Texas is its own country. And there is a system that picks a husband for you. And you're supposed to go and be with him and have his white babies for a certain amount of time. And then maybe you can depart from that or whatever. Alongside us living in this particular world with the main character, we are getting flashbacks from her ancestor who was a slave, because she has these letters from her. And I think you guys are missing out on the part that a lot of the world building happens in those chapters of the past, right? So we get the world building, we get the why behind certain things and so on and so forth in the past, and then we get Solene navigating through those things, right? I think the point of the Blueprint is not to flesh out this very racist world and how difficult that is for this Black woman, as much as it is to understand that no matter what time period a Black woman is in, she's struggling. And that is what Kindred is about, right? The time travel in Kindred is happenstance, whereas in this book, no, her and her ancestor were going through the same things hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years apart. There is something to that. There is something to that. It deserves more. It deserves more. I need you to read it. And I need you to step outside of what you're expecting, right? Step outside of Margaret Atwood, step outside of even what you know of Octavia Butler and Parable of the Sower or Kindred or any of that or any other sci-fi adjacent type books, and just be with this one. Because all of the things that you think are missing from it are missing for a reason, right? Or they're there and you can only see it in a particular way. Does that make sense? So this one, I'll fist fight your mama in the street about it here. Play with somebody else. Don't play with my friend. I don't know if she knows she my friend. She my friend though. Play with somebody else. So those are, how many books was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books that I think deserve more love. They're all by Black authors. When you're seeing this, it's Black History Month. Do something about it, okay? Read them. And then go holler about them from the rooftops. If no one has told you today, I love you. You are kind. You are smart. You are important. If to no one, to me. And tell me down below a book that you think should be talked about more. Bye, friends.